We are going to start the session. Sir.
बुला के ले आओ ना, पर पोटी रहो, ठीक है, ताकि जाने की पोटी, पाँच के ले आओ ना।
हाँ
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, we are going to start the session 5, that is reproduction and the breeding. Can we have the attendance, please? There will be 3 lead papers. First will be by Dr. Mavi. He is with me. He is co-chairing this session.
Then another lead paper.
Yeah, look. Another lead paper by Dr. H.S. Virade. I can see him. Yeah. Then Dr. Bipin Becha. Is he here? That means the third lead paper is not there. Then for oral presentations, 5 are there. First is by K. Jyoti. Okay. The next is by Dr. M.S. Bavaskar. Is he here? Dr. Bavaskar. Okay. And then third is by M.K. Patra. Dr. M.K. Patra. Dr. Patra, please. Third is Dr. M.S. Bavaskar. He has submitted the 2 papers. Next is Dr. Ghulam Masood Bhatt. He was here. Yeah, okay. So that means in this session, out of 8 papers that has been submitted to this reproduction and breeding session, only 2 lead papers and 2 oral presentations will be made by the different scientists. So, I, along with Dr. P.S. Mavi, co-chairman, and Dr. S.K. Kansal, the reporter of this session, we welcome you all for this very important session of reproduction and breeding, because reproduction is very, very important in animals, but especially it is a sort of a trouble thinking to the veterinarians, because there are a lot of stray population that is occurring in the society and causing troubles. So, with this introduction, I invite Dr. P.S. Mavi, the Director, Veterinary Clinical Complex, Khalsa College of Veterinary Animal Science, Amritsar, to make his presentation, the role of nutrition on canine reproduction. Dr. Mavi, please.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My today's lead paper is on role of nutrition on canine reproduction. I'm ex-RBC officer, and now as the chairperson role, I am working as a director clinics in Amritsar, Khalsa, under the Guru Angad Dev Veterinary Animal Science University, Ludhiana. Introduction. Dogs, as we know, they are the omnivorous animal, and the adequate feeding is required for maintaining the good health, optimum reproduction, but the malnutrition imbalance, either it is both deficiency of nutrients or excess of nutrients, lead to overweight and obesity in the animal, especially in the canine and the small breeds, and which finally affect the fertility and even shorten the life, reproductive life age of the canine. Continuing with the introduction, the dog breeding program is for the exploitation of its genetic potential, which include, because the reproduction starts right from the puppyhood, and for the maximum body growth, then optimum conception rate in the bitches, and minimum reproductive disorder, which are related to the malnutrition, which I will be discussing in the coming slides. And finally, with a normal whelping with more number of healthy live pups. To achieve all these parameters in the canine, which is achieved by the proper nutritional management in the reproduction. This one term is body condition score. As they say in this era, even in the school children also, the child and even the adult one, they are overweight or obese, which affect the reproduction. So the body condition score, we take it as a 5-point system. What is 5-point system means? If it is 1, it is very thin. But 3 is the ideal weight. Every breed, because we are having the various size of the breed, from single digit to even up to 60 to 70 kg of the adult body weight, depending on the breed. If it is coming, the weight is as per the breed chart, then 3, we can say it is the ideal weight. However, if it is 5, it is obese, which is more than 20% of the ideal body weight of that particular breed. Most of the small animals I have seen in the clinics also, they are all either overweight or obese. Now, what are the nutritional factors which affect the reproduction? First, it affects the overproduction. Then, under or mal, as I told, under means deficient, mal means both it include under nutrients and the over nutrient, which lead to overweight or the obesity, even in the human being also and even in our domestic animals also. If it is under or malnutrition, it will delay the puberty, means the baby will come into estrus later in life. Then it decreases the sperm concentration in the male dog and it decreases the ova production from the ovaries. Lower birth weight, neonatal mortality and morbidity, early embryonic death, resorption of the embryos, abortion or the stillbirth is the effect of the under or malnutrition in the canine. As I told you that most of the small animal canines, they are either overweight or obese. Overfeeding, as in the morning also yesterday, Dr. Verma told that most of the time the nutrition is the main factor in canine to have the optimum reproductive status. So overfeeding, it risks of dystocia in the bitches, prolonged labor. I've seen in the clinics also, the owner came, the dog is overweight or obese, the process of whelping is delayed, which we have to facilitate. Then lower ovulation, if it is underweight, again it affects the ovulation, and if it is overweight, it also do affect the ovulation from the ovaries. Then smaller litter size, less number of ova, less number of puppies to be. Inefficient milk production is also one of the factors of the overfeeding. Then silent heat. Now, main coming to what is the requirement of the canine for optimum reproduction. So I will just highlight what is the minimum requirement. Energy is one word, energy, which is calculated in the kilocalories. As in the human beings, for an adult child, it is about 220 to 150 kilocalories for the human beings. But in the dog, depending upon the size, I will come to this. It is the resting energy requirement, that is kilocalories per day. It is very simple to calculate. We take the body weight in kgs, multiply it by 30 plus 70. Whatever that comes, this is the resting energy requirement of the dog. Then maintenance energy requirement, it is almost a double than the resting energy requirement. Now to more simplify it, average daily energy in kilocalories, needs of the dog in different body weight. If you see adult dog, adult active dog and the pregnant dog, we will take the smaller breeds, let us say it is a medium breed, 22.5 kg bitch dog, it will require only about 900 kilocalories. Whereas if it is a pregnant, it is almost double the requirement of the energy. Now, 20% now, there are more of the commercial feeds are coming in the market, the canine. Dr. Verma has also yesterday that most of it, one of the very rapidly increasing industry in the dog feed. Now, basic being a technical one, we say that 20% of the energy requirement should come from the carbohydrate. Then regarding the protein, they say 4 gram digestible protein per 10 kilocalorie of major energy requirement should be there. If the feed, in the commercial feeds, they have written so many of kilocalories, we ensure that if it is 4 gram digestible crude protein, that feed is having the optimum concentration of all ingredients, especially protein and the energy. The nutrition requirement is diverse in the canine. The body weight, as I told you, in our different breeds, it may vary from 4 kg to 80 kg adult body weight. Then puppy, again depending on the size, the newborn puppy may be 120 gram up to 550 gram at the time of birth. The first 2 weeks, only mother milk is sufficient to meet the requirement of the puppies. Then growth is rapid in the first 5 months of the puppies because it is affecting the future reproduction if the growth is not optimum. Now the pre-breeding nutrition, as I told you, if this score is not optimum, is very thin or it is obese. Then what is the pre-breeding nutrition? One word is flushing. Flushing is nothing but it is the increase in the food intake of the bitch before breeding. That is 5 to 10% of the maintenance energy requirement. More beneficial of this flushing, increasing the food requirement, is more effective if the body condition score is less than 3. Then high plane of nutrition, how it affects the reproduction? It leads to increased release of insulin, and with the increased release of insulin, it stimulates the steroid hormone from the ovaries, and it increases the number of ova shed from the ovaries. So this flushing should be done, means 10% increase in the mental energy requirement should be minimum 2 weeks prior to the breeding of the bitch. Then 30% of the digestible protein should be the animal base. You will be surprised in our clinics, some of the person they are keeping the dogs and they say hardcore vegetarian. They even don't use the eggs also. I always advise them, if you are hardcore vegetarian, don't keep the dog, otherwise it is a carnivore. Some source of animal protein should be there for their optimum growth and for optimum reproduction. So that's why the nutrition say that the 30% of the digestible protein should be from the animal source. Then they let us study omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. It improves the reproduction in the which we have the addition of these fatty acids. Now the growth and reproduction, it has got 4 stages. What is the growth, maintenance, gestation and lactation. All these stages have the different requirement of energy. Suppose if the pups have become orphan due to any reason, due to a death of the bitch after giving the birth, then they have formulated that some milk starter which have the milk, then egg yolk, then some steam-borne source of energy and certain few vitamins can be added which can replace the requirement of the newly born puppy in the orphan bitches. Supplements. These days, every company, every pharmaceuticals, there is a big nexus between the pharmaceutical and the supplements. Supplements are not recommended. It causes harm. Excess of vitamin A, it leads to the congenital defect in the newborn. Excess of vitamin D, it hinders the calcium mobilization, and vitamin C, it interferes in the normal bone development. Calcium interference, calcium storage, and it will lead to eclampsia at the time of whelping. No need of extra feed of calcium. Now, even in the large animal also, all the pharmaceutical, they say this is a 5 liter, 10 liter is of calcium supplements. To feed it to them, it causes. But they say no need of extra feeding of calcium in the pregnant because it is compensated by simply increasing the quantity of food. I told the energy requirement, if it is 900 kilocalorie, in the pregnant animal it is 1800. Accordingly, we increase the almost double the energy that is provided. This all deficiency, the supplementation is not needed. Now in the end summary, undernutrition, it causes delayed in exhibition of the first stress, high neonatal mortality, and a lower puppy weight for the dog breeder. Because if the person is a dog breeder, the one of the source of number of more pups has to be produced in a particular period of time, and those will be, then it affect its reproductive exploitation of the genetic material. Then food requirement of pregnant bitch in the last trimester of gestation, means after 40 days of pregnancy, as 60 and 62 days after mating or after conception, the bitch delivers the pups, then 70% food requirement is more. Up to 40 days, they say the fetus development mass is only 5% of the total development. But after 45 days, that there is a rapid development of the fetal mass, which requires more than 70% of the increase. It means after 40 days of pregnancy, the increase in the food requirement should be started, not before that. Lactating bitch energy, we have seen that if the bitch has well, it lead to the skeleton of the bitch. You might have seen the lactating bitch, because the energy requirement is 2 to 4 times more than the normal energy requirements. That's why they say if the bitch has got 6 to 7 pups, then the energy requirement should be 2 to 4 times more than the normal requirement of the energy requirement. The dog food must have, as told you, 4 grams of the digestible pure protein, then 30% of the animal protein. Then overfeeding, definitely it has the side effect on the reproduction. It leads to obesity, lower conception rate, well-being complication. All this comes for the malnutrition. The balanced food, as per the stage of life, lead to maximum reproductive efficiency in the breeding dog. Thanks. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Mavi, finishing your lead paper within the stimulated time. So now the topic is open for discussion. Questions and queries. It's a sorry state of affairs in the auditorium. Very few number of people are sitting. At least the organizers should think that yesterday I witnessed the same thing, the same scene when I was attending a session in the extension department regarding the microbiology. So this trend is not good because it's a national conference. A lot of students are there. I think there are around 600 students studying in the undergraduate program, and 100 must be there doing post-graduation and PhD. But over here we see I can count only 15 people who are somehow directly or indirectly connected with the presentation are sitting over here. But still, the topic is open for discussion. Questions, please.
Sir, as far as commercial feeds are concerned, dog does not need supplementation. But as far as homemade foods are concerned, so it is okay for when the dog is on commercial foods, we do not need some sort of supplementation. But when the animal is on homemade food, do we need? If the animal is on homemade food, no? Homemade. Do we need some supplementation there or not?
Due to the time point, because I have formatted in the compendium also, we have given the composition of the home food for the dogs, which include, depending on the age, it should include eggs also, it should include meat also, it should include the rice or atta also, and meat also. That will, I have given calculator, if one egg is, they say about provide 72 kilocalories of this thing. 72 kilocalories. If you feed to a large dog 4 eggs, it will compensate. And if we feed half a liter of milk and 1 100 ml of pasteurized milk having 3.5 fat, standardized milk, it provides 150 kilocalories. Same way, 2 cups of boiled rice, 1 cup meaning 100 gram. So it also provides about 100 kilocalories. So accordingly, I have got 2 German survey at my home. I never even recommend to the anyone that if you can provide the home food, that is the best, otherwise it is creating some complication, kidney failure, others say. Until you are going up somewhere out there for a limited period, you can have the commercial feed. But if you make this feed available, eggs available, occasionally meat also, the rice and this thing, it will meet the ethical requirement of the bitch or growing or whatsoever it is. So I always prefer the home food, because I am pure non-vegetarian, my wife is pure, and I am non-veg and she is pure vegetarian. But she feeds the eggs to the, I got 1 6-month puppy and 1 13-year-old Persian.
Okay, done. Second query regarding, in your presentation, you told that the requirement, additional requirement starts from the last third of the gestation, that is after 40 days or so, 40 to 70%.
Yeah.
Then you showed that there is no need to increase the food in earlier stages, increase from that. But keeping in view the beach has already load of these developing
Very good.
kids. How is possible then? Because appetite, if we suddenly increase all of a sudden feed appetite.
If we increase the food, as I told you, trimester,
Yeah.
70% increase in the food.
Yeah.
Here, the number of feeding is increased
Okay.
4 to 5 times.
Okay.
So that otherwise, if you feed in 2 times or 3 times, it will have some pressure on the pregnant uterus also.
Yeah.
So if you feed small sum amount, instead of 2 feeding earlier, you switch over to 3 or 4, even 5. It will not put lot of pressure in the
Increase the
abdominal.
frequency of the feed.
Yeah, that is the one of them. That is the management factor. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That sometimes litter size will be more.
Pardon?
Sometimes the litter size,
Okay,
number of puppies will be more.
more yes.
Then first question is, sir, how to know whether all puppies are getting sufficient milk or not, or any symptoms that puppies will show of that insufficient milk, or if it is not sufficient, or sometimes the bitches may not be letting milk also. At that time, what to suggest to the owners to feed that neonates?
Nuance, I have given one formula also. Otherwise, if the bitch is not very obese, you can say the normally they say normal bitch with a good body condition. Number 3, if your score is 3, there is no requirement of the puppy, don't require any additional source of energy except from the mother milk for the first 2 weeks only. After that, we have to feed that milk. And then what is the litter size? If in 1 week it is 4 puppies, in other is 8. If you see my slide, the increase of requirement post whelping is 2 to 4 times. So 4 times is, if the litter size is more, we can increase the number of energy level.
Sometimes the owners may not be giving that much energy, so the milk letdown may be decreasing. So then puppies to be supplemented.
Then we have to give that orphan with the milk, egg yolk, bone stem, then few vitamins.
Yes,
We
that formula.
Yeah, that I give.
has been-
That's after boiling it. You only don't give the white of the yolk, it is the yellow of the yolk.
Yellow.
So this is a formula they say that can be fed to the orphan or where the requirement of the puppies due to less.
Even to the newborns also.
Yeah, newborn also.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? So if there are no questions, then we must thank Dr. Mabi for